The Spirit Program Live, your weekly sanctuary for transformation, empowerment, and spiritual awakening. Hosted by author and creator Sharon Price, this weekly program brings real conversations, real breakthroughs, and real tools to elevate your mind, body, and spirit. This is more than a podcast. It's a movement, a community, a place to reconnect with your purpose and remember who you truly are. Get ready. It's time to transform your life. It's time for the Spirit Program Live.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. This is Sharon Price. I am an author, a spiritual translator, grief and wellness specialist, and I work with people in all aspects of mind, body, spirit. So thank you for joining me this evening. I have a mighty powerful message tonight. It's regarding men's health, preventative health, mind, body, spirit, the same as what we talk about for women. But I'm going to make some really powerful points tonight. So if you have a husband, a son, a brother, a friend, a coworker, anyone that, your neighbor that you're friends with, tell them about our program. Tell them about the Spirit Program, because it's not only for women, it's for men and women. And there was at one point I had my clientele was about 50-50. It is much less than that now, but all of the men that came to the program either came because they were kind of coerced into being part of the chance to win this package that we have, this amazing package for someone in the community. That's $1,000 giveaway. It's both my grief and 12-week wellness program. It's a mind, body, spirit program that transforms your life from the inside out. And then they also get all the goodies and all the prizes from our local sponsors. And that's amazing because it is a package that people wouldn't typically put together or have for themselves. But it really is a reward for going through the program and really revealing, your true self. And that's what it does. But I've had men come in because their wife sent them or their sister sent them or, a friend referred them. Hello, Victoria. I just want to say, I didn't see your comment last week, so good evening. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for sharing this, liking it, commenting, because I know you've done a lot of that for us, and we are very grateful. Hopefully it helps us reach more people. If you go on and go on to Everything Frederick Live and you like and share the channel, it helps us grow. Again, if you comment, it helps us grow even more. So the algorithm is all configured in from all of these programs, and there's a lot of amazing programs on here. Your word for tonight, because I always forget and I sign off and then I have to do a quick video afterwards, is preventative. So what we're going to be talking about tonight is preventative health for men, and how amazed and shocked at the same time I am that in 20 years, actually 22 years, from 2004 to 2026, our top 5 health concerns for men has not changed. And that is, just unacceptable to me. I can't believe that we have so many options and so many choices out there. But it's the stigma. So we're going to go into the slides tonight, and we're going to take a few breaks. But if you have questions in the meantime, please put them in the comment section. If I see them, I will comment on them. Again, please share this with others. But we're going to talk about physical, mental, and emotional health, and especially emotional health, because being a grief specialist, I am very passionate about the subject. And it's not just for women, but for men, and men handle it a lot differently. So that being said, let's go through some of the things that we've talked about, and that is the health concerns, the warnings. So a lot of the reasons why we continue to have this high risk for men is because of their self-care, which lack of, I should say. And then, the stigma around men having anything to do with health and wellness, but also just the makeup from the time they're very young and what they've been conditioned to believe is that they're just supposed to push through it. They're supposed to suck it up. There's no time. But let me tell you something, you'll run out of time to take care of yourself if you don't do it now. It's critical. It is easier than ever to make time for preventative wellness. And I'm not talking about, going on medication for quick fixes. And I'm holistic, but I want to say this if I have not said it in my earlier programs. I believe in both conventional and holistic. There are people that are on one end of the scale or the other, and I am truly balanced when it comes to that. I've had many clients that have come to me that I've sent to amazing physicians and doctors in the community and amazing practitioners that do massage or chiropractic work or acupuncture, acupressure, Reiki treatments. But I will say that those things are what minimizes the chronic conditions that come on. And you're never too old and it's never too late. I guess the oldest person that I've had in the program, male, has been in their late 80s. He and his wife did it in a group class together, which I was a little concerned. I wasn't sure how it was going to balance out, but it was amazing. And I'm going to tell a little bit about this story because I was supposed to have someone on tonight to give a live testimony and she couldn't make it. So we'll have her on probably the show next week. But I want to say that they came into this group class together. She was very meek and passive. He was more, aggressive and always stood up for the two of them. And what I found out as they went through it is she found her voice, he mellowed out, and both of them became just a better couple together. And she didn't need him as her shield. And I think we have that a lot. And the reason I want to mention that is because men's nature is to protect. Okay. The stronger, the easier, it is for someone else to stand behind, their husband or another person that they feel protected by. But again, when we do that, we are not always going to be there to defend that person or take up for them or watch out for them. So teaching someone the boundaries and the tools and all the things they need to do that is critical for them actually being able to do it themselves and taking pressure off of the dynamics that we have. Like we always had these roles in life where men played a certain role and women played a certain role, but that's out now. And the problem that I see with men's health now is that they're taking on more of the role of their partner because when you're raising kids and there's a lot going on, the kids are in sports and they have activities and more than they ever did before. They're still doing their job and wives were at home. And we know this, we're talking, very, not that long ago. We still have some wives that are home and they're able to do that, but most families need both incomes. But there was a lot of extra pressure on men to help out in ways they didn't have to do before. And still their mentality and their thinking hasn't changed, that they are the provider, that if anything happened, it still falls back on them. And they're taking on extra stress. And so I want you to be aware. And that's what we're going to talk about too, shifting your habits and your responsibilities. So again, from thinking I'm the only provider, and I know there's women out there that make and exceed men's salary, but it's on a much smaller scale. It's still that way, and it has been for a long time. So I don't want anybody, giving me their, comments or hate messages that I might make more. It's not, this isn't I was going to say a pissing contest. So I'm going to say it just that way. This is not a contest about who does more and who does what. It's about coming in the middle. It's not about you give 100%, I give 100%. I said that before, but it's a 50-50. And just like women need to have someone to have an outlet, a friend, a sister, a sibling, whatever it is, and whoever it is, to have that outlet for, men need the same thing. But they really don't have the same sources, or it's not seen as being okay to have those sources. So, what they earn, proving themselves. So we talked a little bit about that. And then let's talk about the top risks. I want you to take a look at this. From heart disease to cancer, to any kind of, accidents, because men have a tendency to take more risk, and they're on positions and jobs that are riskier. And they seem to not have as much fear when it comes to doing certain things. And again, this is all about men tonight. So if you're listening and you're a lady, a woman that's on here, I pray that you listen closely and that you suggest this program and these topics or this particular video to anyone you know, because men in our lives need to hear these things. And there's a stigma about yoga and meditation and wellness and all the things that go along that women are doing, and some men, but not enough in order to help this decrease. Stroke, chronic, respiratory, lower, respiratory disease. And that's a lot of the reasons, because they're taking, their, I guess, emotional, I was going to say not emotional health, but the emotional things that they want to say, and they're bottling it up inside, but they're going to come out somewhere. So there is like self-medication sometimes, whether that's alcohol or over-the-counter medication or other recreational drugs, or just keeping it inside. Maybe they don't do any of those things, but maybe they're not making time for themselves to get their regular checkups, to make sure that they're taking time for self-care, that they say this. Now, I have a couple that's really close to me, and I will talk to the husband about these things because he's in a frontline position. And I'm just going to leave it at that, because I never mention anyone's name or confidentiality, but it's really important that they find the time for themselves, just like we do. Whether a woman goes out to like chat with her friends, or, to get her nails done or get a massage, sit in the infrared sauna, which is one of our, giveaways in our package. They need those things too. Time for the gym. So find time to balance that, and not just like, you walk in again and someone feels attacked because they don't have time to themselves, and you've been busy all day. Maybe you were home all day. Maybe you were home with the kids, and you want to hand them off because you haven't had a break. Being at work's not a break. I'm just going to say that. Maybe they did go out and grab a quick lunch, but, people like kind of put themselves in a mindset where they think they know what someone's day's really like. And you really have no idea. They mention one or two things that sound like, oh, this was fun. I don't know anybody that just, has fun all day at work, not unless I'm doing completely this all day long, where I'm talking to you, I'm coaching someone, that then you take away all of the, other busy things. But everyone, even when they own their own business, they have busy things. They have paperwork, they have stressors, they have to figure out how they're going to pay their bills. All of these things weigh in, and have been for years, and have been taught, passed down for generations, that it is the male's responsibility to provide, to make sure that their family is protected at all times, and that they have to take that on no matter what the cost. And I'm saying there is a huge cost. Your life is the cost, and your wellness and your quality of life, meaning, you may live longer than you expected or didn't expect, but what you do to your body now is going to affect it later. And it's been proven. If I can sit here 22 years later and pull up these statistics, and you can do it yourself. I have a chart here tonight, and see that there has been no change in the statistics of these top 5, then something needs to change. And I'm going to talk about work, because we talked about it for a minute before I advance the slide. Whether we get through them all, I don't really care, as long as we're talking about this subject. Is that men have a tendency to want to save their time from work. I mean, when did you see a blue collar worker, is what we call it, right, doing electrical work or plumbing work or out on construction, telling their boss, hey, I got to take an appointment today. I need a mental health day, or, I want to take time off for my doctor's appointment. And they don't do that. They save that time for their family. They save that time to go on their vacation. They feel like it's wasted. There's no time that's wasted if you're spending it on yourself. I don't care if you have to take a day off to do it, but most men didn't go in and say that. But let me tell you too, there's no excuses now. There are telehealth doctors. You can even go on Amazon and find your doctor. I'm not suggesting that. Let me just make that very clear. But I'm just saying that there are ways now, and we've had our medical world open up so you can do preventative care. So what do? They can't listen to, your heartbeat. They can't, to your blood pressure check. Then why don't you get a monitor at home? And you'll know if there's something wrong. Like, everyone can use this. And then, you call them up, and then they order your blood work, and you take time off early in the morning, late at night. There's ways around what we're talking about that we did not have at our disposal before. It wasn't there. But that's why I'm saying there's no excuse. Making time for yourself. And don't wait for your mother or your wife or your sister or someone to hound you because they see how stressed you are, or they see that you look like you're not feeling well, or you have gotten sick, and make your appointments for you. I know sometimes people do that because of convenience. You're on a job where you can't use your phone and you are out in the field. There are circumstances, but it really is about taking accountability for your health, taking responsibility, because what happens is these small young men grow up. And when they grow up, they no longer have that person there to nurture them. Maybe everyone doesn't, but most people do have parents there that are nurturing them, or a grandparent or someone that made sure that they got the care they needed. And then once they leave home and they're out, whether that's right into the workforce or they go into college or whatever it is, it just kind of falls away. And then everything changes. So if you look at this time period and what I'm showing on here, it really is like incredibly alarming that we have done nothing to change this. And I don't understand. And the only thing that I can say that is missing is educating wherever that is and whatever is needed. I know I've been health coaching for years, and I used to go out and do blood pressure checks and biometrics and life coach people. But my God, they gave those people 5 minutes. What do you think you can do in 5 minutes with someone? I was at the hospital one time doing an hour presentation where they gave me a half hour, and people came in late with their lunch, trying to eat and trying to listen at the same time. That is more stressful than not having it at all. So make the time to educate yourself. Doctors are also in a hurry. You see them, they're seeing 30 patients, they're pressured into getting so many people in a certain amount of time, and they don't take the time. They see that you have high cholesterol, they're just going to give you a pill. What do you need to do to change your lifestyle? What do you need to do to feel better? Dad, we have a 12-week program. It runs in the evening. It takes 1 hour of your time, and then a minimum or a maximum of 2 hours a week to do the videos and do your book lesson. And you will change your entire life, and your lifestyle will change. And you continue, again, to carry these tools with you. So I say, why not? What do you have to lose? Nothing, except for getting your health in a better place. And what you're doing now that you may not be feeling, you may then, recognize or feel later. I can't believe we're already 19 minutes into this program because I'm really passionate about it. I wanted to make a really strong point tonight, and I wanted people to hear my voice very clearly. It doesn't have to be me that you come to. I don't care where you go, but make a point to get your wellness on track, because there's a lot of options out there now. So let's take a quick break. We're going to go to a commercial break, and I'll be right back.
Sponsored by Atlas Wood Floors, serving the area for more than 34 years. Wood floors, luxury vinyl plank. Anything that you put on your floor, they can handle it. Check out their Google reviews and give them a call today. 301-948-9663. That's 301-948. Wood. Be sure to ask for Jeff Koger or go to atlaswoodfloors.net.
Frederick, don't miss the Spring Bloom Art and Garden Pop-Up, Friday, May 1st at Give Rise Studio. Shop local art, handmade goods, and garden-inspired creations. Free to attend. Register now on Eventbrite.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. And I just put another chart up here about exploring treatments and why people, don't do what they're supposed to do. And a lot of times there are symptoms and warnings, just like I said last week. And when I talk about women's health, your body is very intelligent. It is going to warn you, just like your vehicle has bells and lights and whistles. They didn't have them, but when your brakes squealed, you knew that you needed to go get the mechanic to look at it. When you are feeling extremely tired and you brush it off and you're feeling stressed, and you just say it's nothing and you're overwhelmed, and maybe you're in a situation where you're not in a really good environment and there's a lot of negativity, a lot of drama. Men don't come home and talk about it the same way as women do. And maybe you're in a position where, you have someone above you that I call it misuse of power all the time, where someone is just browbeating you all the time and you don't feel comfortable, venting that. And there may just be other emotional things that are going on. Men feel the same inside. There's no difference. Our organ systems work the same. Our emotions work the same. We may not vent the same. People go, oh, we got him from work and I just left him alone, because he's tired. He just needs to chill out and relax. Sometimes men need to talk. They need to be listened to. We need to not dump on them sometimes. We need to be able to make sure that there's a give and take. Need to make sure that there's an outlet for that. There is no shame in asking for help. It is really upsetting to me that suicide for men is in the top 10. It's upsetting that it exists at all. And that if we don't do something to allow ourselves to, get rid of the stress that we have and the emotional upsets, and we don't just shove it inside and we don't get rid of it by escaping it somehow. That could be through food. It could be through gambling. It could be through just vegging in front of the computer. It could be through just not feeling like you have any other energy left in you. I promise you, when you start doing some of these small steps, you'll find that they will take you on a path where you regain that energy in a natural way, and doing things for yourself. I know when someone says, I ran around all day at work. Men tell me this all the time when I'm coaching. I said, it's not the same as having focused time on yourself. Coming home and eating dinner and then taking a walk. And let's just talk about that. I mean, our foundational teaching for this program is sleep, exercise, or I just say moving your body. So sleep, continuous movement. And I'm not talking about steps. This is the second time this week someone's brought up steps to me. I worked as an exercise specialist in a facility where we did, like, everyone stayed in their lane and we did something different with each participant. And I always had people going, oh, I'm watching my steps. I don't believe it's great. If you want to, if that motivates you to make sure that you're getting your steps in, you're getting out of your chair, great. But going to the bathroom and back, or to the kitchen, to the refrigerator, or walking outside with the dog for a moment and coming back inside, that's not how you have calculated, movement. And movement that is going to make an impact on your body. It doesn't have to be that you're a bodybuilder. You don't have to go out for a power walk, but walk after dinner. Take, 5 or 10 minutes. You can do it as a family and it's family time. Or if you're a couple, do it together, or take it because you need that time just to ground yourself and to be somewhere where nobody's asking you for anything. But find ways to be able to express yourself. Men don't talk to other men the same way. And I'm going to talk about this. I used to work with someone in a environment that were primarily men working around me. And I used to have a lot of customers that came in that were males. And when they came in, they always came in to chat with me. And they came in to chat because they would be honest about how they felt about things that they felt like they couldn't talk to their buddies about. And one of them came to me one time, and I've known him for many years. Again, no mention of names. And he was having a lot of problems with anxiety. And anxiety can be caused by a multitude of things. It's not something that, again, I think that someone should just immediately throw medication at. What are you doing that may be causing your body to even become low on B vitamins? Smoking does it, stress does it, and not getting proper foods. So if you combine all of those things, it could be why your Bs are depleted and you can start feeling anxious. But again, there's many reasons, and it can be gotten to like the root cause if you take the time with someone to do that. But the reason I'm saying that is he did come to me and he said, I have a bunch of buddies, but I feel like a sissy. I'm not going to go and tell them that I'm having anxiety and I'm having panic attacks. I felt really bad for him, but this is the God's honest truth. It has been well over 20 years ago. There's a book that I recommend, and it's called Panic to Power. Lucia Bassett writes this. And it's funny because I'm an author of 21 books. I love books. Education is not just about my books. It's about any book I can give you that may help you go through this. And this is men or women. I read that book long ago. I asked him to read the book. He got it. He read the book. He actually did the tools and techniques that were in the book, and he never had another episode. And he was very clear on that. Like that one book that he read, that he took the time, again, his time to read and to go purchase, which probably at the time, $10 at the most, saved him years of grief and pain, because it's not something that people want to be able to live with. There, again, many causes. A lot of times when we don't feel like we're in control of situations, it can come when we're grieving. It can come because of lack of nutrients in the body. There's just so many things. But again, there's a way to get to that. I just want to give you examples of things that people just brush off or afraid of, or they're afraid to speak to someone. If you can't talk to a friend, then find someone. I mean, my gosh, if you're not part of a religious organization, a church, a spiritual group, find ways to get that quiet time by yourself. Go to a yoga class. You can check it out. You can do also mind meditation on your own. You can, again, just go for a quick walk. But you can also talk to someone. If you don't have someone to talk to, there are a lot of churches and counselors around, and pastors, and just different people and groups that, go on Meetup, go anywhere on Facebook or other social media platforms. And there's a lot of ways that you can get out and cut up. And sometimes it's about having fun. It's about not taking life so seriously. It's not about all responsibility feeling like it's on your shoulders. So let's talk about that. It's an awareness. It's a mind shift. And it really is important, because that mind shift changes everything. It's when we can get out of our heads, more into our heart, our spirit, and really find that peaceful place within you. And it is about having good boundaries. It's about not taking it all on. It's about not feeling like you're the only one that can solve a problem. Sometimes we do have problems that we feel are bigger than we are. And God doesn't put anything on this earth. There's not one problem without a solution. And I promise you, if you take the time to pray about it, you take the time to check in, you'll find the person that you'll get that answer from. And it's just about, talking to people and being comfortable doing that. And the more you become comfortable and come outside of that box, the more you'll be able to do that. I wrote a book called Shift Your Mindset. And it's number 21 in my books. All of my books are on Amazon. Right now, they're free on Kindle. I mean, how can you not take advantage of something that's free? I offered it as a 3-month offer. I think the offer is still going. If not, I think it's on Kindle for $3.99. The print version, $7.99. All of the books you can get to from the website. It's at www.thespiritprogram.com or www.getintothespirit.org. You can get there either way. And the link to all of those are there. The link to get to any of the social media platforms, the link to get onto this show is on there. There's so much good information, and there's testimonies. I have years of testimonies of people that have been through this, and it's not a waste of your time, I promise you. And if you haven't signed up, I'm going to be honest, I've had no male participants for a while that have signed up for the giveaway. And right now, all of them are females that are in our bucket for right now. And if you're listening to this, put the word in the comments. Go on our website if you don't want to do it in the comments. But I promise you, when you go onto the website and you go into the registration page, you're still going to be showcased. But if you don't want to be showcased, come into a class. It starts June 3rd, and we'll be doing it for 12 weeks. And it's a closed class. They're always very intimate, very private. And you'll see that everybody goes through similar situations. And I'm not saying to compare your problems to others, because that is minimizing them, but it's to see that we all go through similar things. And I think it's really important for us to recognize that, and to have, again, awareness is your biggest, it's going to be your most, how can I say this with it coming out right? It's going to be your avenue to opening doors, the opportunities is what I'm getting. Awareness is the key to educating yourself, to just awareness of your own habits. Some people go through life on autopilot all the time, and they're just so habitual that they do things out of just the sheer habit of doing it constantly. Think about how you drive to work and you're not thinking about anything. Your mind's somewhere completely different. You get there, you don't even know how you got there. We need you to stay present in the moment. But it's the same way with, if you pick up your phone, you may pick up your phone to go on your email, but you've got such a habit of jumping on Facebook or jumping on to another social media platform or another app that you just do it automatically. You're like, why did I even open that? And it's so true. The name of the book again. Oh, I'm asking to mention the name of the book again. So there are two. One is called Panic to Power by Lucia Bassett. Okay, so thank you, Emily. I think that's who's on here asking. Again, thank you, everyone that joins us every week, supports this channel, supports my work. The people that still come to events, still show up, weeks and weeks later, months later, years later. I have people still 20 years that have been hanging with me that come on because every time they learn something new. I have never done this presentation that I'm doing tonight this way. Like, I bring in new updates, new material, new things. So Panic to Power is an amazing book. Shift Your Mindset is a way to grasp how our mind can really take control over our bodies. And I should say the brain, because our mind is is not something that you can tangibly see. It's part of your spirit, but we feed it, our brain, all this information. And sometimes it gets so boggled up with so much stuff that it's then again thought about over and over and again, that it becomes like something that becomes a habit or automatic, and you're on autopilot. We don't want you on autopilot. We want you to be present. We want you to live in the moment. We want you to breathe in the moment. We want you to enjoy life, and that's important. Your emotional health is critical. So building emotional strength, learning how to really stay grounded and what that means, and improving your long-term well-being. That's our mission for men, women, and children. It's all the same for everyone. And the same tools, the same techniques work. It's just becoming comfortable talking about the things that you've been uncomfortable with. Who cares what anybody thinks? Your life and your health matters more than if another guy thinks, well, that's just not something I would do. Then they're losing out. I want you to know that you're the one that is going to benefit. If you can open up and you can see that there are a lot of wellness modalities and techniques and tools and other things that you can use. And I don't care how anybody sees it. And make sure you take a break. Make sure that you don't put it all on your shoulders. Make sure that you find a way. I'm going to mention it because I've said it before. I have an amazing relationship program. Whether you are already, and it's not on the website. I say this all the time. If you've heard this and you're interested, I promise I'll get it on there. Send me a message on one of the contact forms and say it's something you want to go through. It's a 6-week program. And whether it's pre-marriage, during marriage, and you just want to strengthen and make your relationship healthier, then do this program with me, because I promise you'll not be disappointed. I am not a counselor. I was explaining that to someone today. I specialize in grief and wellness. That is not my thing. I don't want to counsel someone. I want to empower you. And I'm not saying counselors don't, so don't take this offensively. I love coaching. Coaching helps someone get to the root of what they really always wanted, their passions, their desires, their true feelings, and help them see, not plant seeds, not tell you how to run your life, but give you what you need to direct your own life and a better path. So let me see what else I have here for you tonight. This is just a reminder. The 12-week wellness program is available at any time to do privately. The marriage program we just talked about, or the relationship program, it can be done. It's done as a couple. It's not done in a group setting. The next group class for the, not the grief healing program. I don't know why that's on there, so I apologize. The grief healing program does not have a date set right now. You can do grief healing individually. It's a 6-week program, but the 12-week spirit program is available right now. I've had a lot of people ask when I'll bring the grief class back. I am going to be doing that. They're all done virtually. You come on, you do this. I have to be able to reach everyone globally. I have been working with clients all over the United States for many years. I have done my work this way even before you could have a platform that was like this. We did it by phone because there wasn't someone that specializes only in grief. When I say that, I'm an expert in this field and emotional balancing and grief work and helping people get through life circumstances. I've been talking about grief all night, but let me just clarify again. Grief is not just about the loss of a loved one or a pet or a friend. It's about the loss of a relationship, a job, a way of life, sometimes a career. Sometimes you're in retirement and you feel a little lost. Sometimes you just feel like you're stuck. I don't care what the reason is. There's no thing or no problem or no situation that you're going to come to me about that I'm not going to be able to coach you through, because that is how magical and how unique coaching is. And I've been not only doing this for over 20 years, but I've been training coaches as well. And so coaching and spiritual sessions are available at all times. Don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Please share this. If you're a female on this program tonight, share with all your male friends, again, family members, coworkers, and help us share the word, because we want to make sure that men have the same access to the same services, the same techniques, the same chance to be able to get well and to stay well and to have a better quality of life. And it is better for all of us. So again, thank you again for being part of this program tonight. We appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe if you have not. And I'll see you next week. Remember, only 3 weeks left of this series from this season. And then we pick back up in September. So we'll be in June, July, and August in our break. We have some other things that'll be coming. We'll talk to you more about that later. And don't forget to sign up for the program May 19th. If you have signed up and you are wanting to be part of it, we'll bring you into the live. We're going to make that announcement. And next week, so I don't forget, this is the May 5th Mother's Day special event. This is going to be around my book, I Believe. We still have plenty of seats for the audience. I promise you, there will be no cameras on our audience. We will only have audio. And if you're not comfortable, all you have to do is tell me. I promise you, I will never make you feel uncomfortable. It will never be an experience that you'll regret having. So please grab your tickets. Please tell other people. You're only 1 week away. And once those seats fill, we'll have our waiting list. So again, have a fabulous week. And I hope to see you next week live in the studio.
That's the Spirit Program Live, your weekly sanctuary for transformation, empowerment, and spiritual awakening. Hosted by author and creator Sharon Price, each episode brings real conversations, real breakthroughs, and real tools to elevate mind, body, and spirit. This isn't just a podcast, it's a movement, a community, and a place to reconnect with purpose and remember who you truly are. Subscribe, share it with someone who needs it, and come back next week ready to rise higher.